G'day everyone, welcome to Xrissart. I'm Chrissy, thanks for joining me. Just bear with me just for a moment. I just hope that that you can all hear me. I've had a few IT issues. Please let me know if you're having some problems. Oh my goodness! Oh look, we've got all our art friends. Just give me a moment, just for 2 seconds. 2 secs actually. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, g'day Wendy. G'day Will. Nice to see you here. G'day Jan. Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. Let me see. G'day Jeff. How you going? G'day Lindy. How you going? Please let me know if you can hear me. I've got a little bit of music in the background, so I just don't want it to be too loud. G'day Jackie, how you going? Nice to see you here. Okay. Can you all hear me and see me okay? I just wanted to make sure, that's all. Just someone let me know if my sound is okay. G'day Gary, how you going? Nice to see you here, mate. Seems fine to me. Excellent. Okay. Now, before I go any further, you know how I always working great, fantastic. Well, I've got all my supplies, I've got everything all around me, and what I wanted to do is, before I get stuck into what I'm doing, and just let me know, don't hear the music. Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm a bit scared to put it up a little bit because then it gets a bit too loud. All right, just let me try a little bit, just a little bit, and then tell me. How about that? Just, g'day Will, how you going? Nice to see you, mate. Maybe I've got my audio. Is that too loud? Please let me know if the music's too loud, okay? All right. Now, as you know how I always like to share art supplies. Oh, that's good. Okay, terrific. You know how I'm always, music is fine, wonderful. Okay, you know how I'm always trying new things out, and you're good now. Okay, so, well, I haven't given up now. I've been doing gouache and I haven't given up on that, but I've got, let me show you first, acrylics. Now, you know that I'm not good with acrylics. Okay. So, but these are from Schminky, all right? Now, I go to my art supply store and I always walk past them. But I'm thinking to myself, I can't give up. I can't give up on these. So I've got a few of these acrylic paints, which I'm actually going to be playing with. Oh, g'day Brenda, how you going? Nice to see you here, sweetie. Hope everything is all good with you. So here we go. And I've got this acrylic retarder, okay, because, well, you know, when it comes to paint like this, I like to paint with oils, right? Only because it forgives me, it takes a long time to dry, as you know, people that, like with you, Will, and Wendy, and all of you people that have tried, and Jeff, I know that you paint with oils as well, so, you know, it's a different medium and they work differently, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go at that. But I just wanted to show and tell. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to show and tell. Yes, up early, granddaughter off to school, so a painting day. Yeehaw, that's fantastic. Okay, all right, so that's one thing I wanted to show. It's a recent purchase, but not a very recent purchase, but I'm not quite sure if I shared it, but anyway. And I've got one more thing which I wanted to share. Here's another one. Now, as you know, I love pastels, as you know, and I love oils. They're my two favorites. Color pencils as well, right? But I wanted to share, hang on a sec. Oh, hang on. geez. Hang on. Hang on a sec. I've got this camera and it's just moved on me. All right. Just hang on 2 seconds. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. This is dreadful. Hang on a sec. Okay. It doesn't want to behave, so that's okay. Oh, g'day, Anne. How you going? Nice to see you. Congratulations on your painting in the magazine and the exhibition. That's wonderful, wonderful. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, oils. Okay, now oil pastels. They work different to Sofft Pastels and PanPastels, as you know. But I just wanted to share what these look like, and for people that particularly have a look at these. And I'm going to do a painting with these one day, right? But aren't they beautiful colours? Now these are oil pastels, and they're by Sennelier. Just a wonderful, wonderful medium. Now this was, now for people who don't know, Pablo Picasso, who was an oil painter, approached Sennelier. This is back in the 50s. Approached Sennelier. Sennelier was a manufacturer, or is a manufacturer, and it's a whole family, and wanted them to, Pablo Picasso wanted Sennelier to come up with a medium with pastels on a stick, but with oils. So this is where it all comes from. So he designed this based on Pablo Picasso's request. So I just wanted to share that, right? So, and of course, there's like, I don't know, like over 500 in a set. Now, this is just a little set. I've actually got a bigger set. Shameful again. I just love looking at these art supplies. Okay. Hang on a sec. One more. And of course, and this is their, here we go. This is their iridescent set. And I wanted to show that. And I mean, look at all these wonderful colors. Like this is this copper and gold and blue. Look, they're all iridescent and they're all shiny and all of that. So I just thought I'd share before I get stuck into my pastel painting. And of course, you know, I love experimenting. You guys know that I love experimenting. Whether I'm good or not at it is another story altogether, but that's okay. That's okay. You know what I'm like. I'm always trying things, right? So what I wanted to talk about, just let me have a look to see if anyone else has come in. I'm addicted to art supplies too. Oh, it's dreadful, says Jan. Sorry, I'm addicted to art supplies, says Jan. But yes, Wendy says, Chrissy and her bling. You know what? I don't buy clothes. I buy art supplies. This is not normal for a woman. You know, we like all these sorts of things. You're always good at it. I bought some soft pastels, says Jan from Rembrandt. Lovely. And I think the Rembrandt brand, and someone can correct me if please, they're more, what is it? You know, people who have got allergies and things like that. I think there's less chemicals in the Rembrandt. Please, someone tell me. I'm pretty sure that that's the case. But anyway, to the business. Let's get to the business. Okay. This is a painting. This is, let me see, what's the measurements? Okay, 40 centimeters by 52 centimeters. And this is a fantasy landscape. It's a galaxy fantasy landscape with a bit of steampunk, right? And of course, I just need to show you what it's all about. I don't know if you can see, all that glitters, Chrissy, not related to a magpie. I know, excuse me. Oh, for people who don't know, magpies is a bird. It's a black and white native Australian bird, and they love shiny things, and all they do is, if they see something shiny, they'll hone in on it and just peck at it. And they're like, for example, like a magpie, but only black and white. Yeah. Non-toxic, says Anne. Yes. Oh, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Non-toxic, at least I've heard that Rembrandt pastels are non-toxic. G'day, Steve, mate. How you going? You buy wine too. You buy wine too, along with your art supplies. I know, still have a headache from last time. Oh my gosh. Oh yes, looks fun. I've had, Jan says, I've heard that too, non-toxic. Yes, yeah. Okay, so I've been painting a lot of flowers, some animals, getting stuck into my portraits. No masking film this time. I know, Will. I knew someone was going to pick on this, and I should have put it, because look, bugger, right? I should have put masking film here, because this is all part of the background. But you know what? It's part of my impatience. I get impatient. But you know what? I did put masking film here. When the time comes for me to show you how I filmed this, you'll see that. Desiree, hello Desiree, nice to see you here. Very pleased that, hi, my hubby is very pleased that I prefer art supplies to jewellery. Yeah, but you still spend a lot of money. Art supplies are still sometimes more expensive than jewellery. I can tell you that much. Hard to keep up with all my artists. Oh my gosh. Okay, so fantasy galaxy. Is it a landscape? If it's a galaxy, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, there's a bit of steampunk here. And by the time I'm finished with this, there's going to be lots of stars. It's going to be a little bit more darker here. There's a lot of detail that needs to go here. Right? And I'm going to get into it. Sorry, I digress. I've been doing a lot of animals, trying to get back into portraits, and I wanted to do something a little bit out of this world, and I think this painting describes out of this world. Jan says, I would love to watch you. You would put the masking film on. I ordered some and it's coming today. Well, I tell you what, Jan, Unmask Art, Will, he is the one that taught me how to do this. You have to go and have a look at some of his tutorials, particularly if you're a Patreon, you will see that he uses quite a bit of masking film, and that's where I got that. So you've got to be doing that. Yeah, so there you go. But I do have, because of that, I do have a little video of how you would do it. It is so simple. And I've tested it on two surfaces, one on a watercolor paper and one on Pastelmat. The watercolor paper, no good. Pastelmat is a much stronger paper, and it can withstand quite a lot, but you have to be very careful. Sharp knife. Beautiful mirror. Brenda says, I need to get my printer working. Jan says, oh, I will check that out. Okay. Okay, so I haven't, so here we have, now I'm not quite sure if you can see this. This is a very large project, and it's going to take me a very long time. And I thought maybe every Wednesday evening, I mean, I'm down here most of the time. So I thought to myself, I might as well live stream some of this stuff. Steve says, Chrissy, is there a trick separating the film from its backing? I found myself wrestling with it across my floor. It won. Let me read that again. Is there a trick to separating the film from the backing? Well, I don't know about a trick, but you have to be very careful. I found myself wrestling with it. Yes, you do, and that's because I think you have to have a very sharp blade. When I say sharp blade, I mean a blade like this. Some people call it an X-Acto knife. Let me see. Is it? Not sure. But yeah. Yeah, so. But that's what I use. And you know what? And probably on... I would change the blade. For me, I would change the blade. For me, I would change it probably maybe after 3 or 4 times that I've used it. And that I think is a bit too much. I think I'm doing a bit overkill, but it's just I want to make sure that it's sharp, and I want to make sure that I'm not cutting my paper. Find a corner and keep picking till it separates. Absolutely, yes, that's the trick. Wendy says, found it in half. Pull up just a bit of the backing and place it on the piece, then rub your hand down the page as you remove the backing. Okay. Oh wow, Wendy's going to do a video on that too. Fantastic. See, all of this information, oh my goodness, everyone's sharing. That is fantastic. Okay, so this is the reason why I never finish anything, because it takes me such a long time to get into this. But anyway, here we go. My tools are, I have a few. Hang on a sec. Here we go. Now I've got a few brushes here. Now I remember when, Steve says, Chrissy, I have no problem cutting it in the separating it from its backing, so I can apply it. Okay, all right. Okay, so brushes, right? Now, can I just tell you something though? This is really interesting, right? I've been painting with soft pastels for a while now, and I've done, if you go back into some of my videos, you'll see me using pastel and then a bit of pan pastel. But then since I started using this stuff, like stiff stuff, these brushes and all of these sorts of brushes, I ended up using pan pastels more and more. And it's like, and I know I've said it before, and it's like painting, but dry painting. So what I'm trying to say is that I've ended up using more pan pastels than I have soft pastels lately, and this is how I work these days. And it hasn't been on purpose or anything like that. It's just that I got to liking how all of this worked, and so that's why I got into this more. But since then, I've gone to my local supermarket and I found some more brushes. Seriously, I have. Here, look at this one. In my last painting, I used, instead of using Sofft Tools, which is fantastic, I use these too. Please understand that I use these too. But it was such a small little piece that I just wanted to see what I could do. And of course, I'm always experimenting. Jacqueline, where do you get your brushes from? Oh my goodness, my local supermarket. But you can, oh, by the way, first of all, welcome Jacqueline. Thank you so much for popping by. My local supermarket, but you can also buy them from Amazon US. Wendy actually went searching, and Wendy found these. Actually, I didn't go looking at Amazon. Are they makeup brushes, says Jan? Yes, they are. What can I say? But I don't use them for makeup. I use them for this because, first of all, they don't shed at all. I think I've had, there's a couple of these that I've had since day dot, and they haven't shed. So that's the one thing. Gary says, can you please send me? Oh, okay. Chrissy always mentions you. Okay, all right. Okay, so, and then there are some other brushes, not necessarily makeup brushes again, but there are acrylic brushes as well. What brand? Ecotools. And what I might do is I'll put them in the description box below after my video. But here you can't see because, oh look, you know why you can't see? Because I've been using it so much, it's so old. Hang on. Can you see that? There we go. There we go. Ecotools. And of course, you know, there's two sides. I use that to blend with. I have brushes over 25 years old. My friend gave me all her mother passed away. Her easel loved them. Oh, okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Eco is the brand. Well, there you go. Thanks, Wendy. Okay, great. So I think I better get stuck into some painting, actually. Oh, hang on. Before I do that, there's more. Wait, there's more. I'm using PanPastels, Glassine Paper, and I've got some pastel pencils for details. I've also got a little sanded block to sharpen my pastel pencils. I also use a sharpener. This is the Derwent Super Point. Some people are a bit funny about this. G'day Iris, how you going? Nice to see you, sweetie. Nice to see you. Okay, so, and that's that. I use that sometimes. Oh, and I do have my cheapy ones, and they're like my favorite sharpeners. But having said that, see this sharpener? After this project, I'm going to give it the flick. Because of the blade. I always want a sharp blade. It's all about the blade. G'day Noir, how you going? Nice to see you here. Nice to see you. Okay. Oh, and my surface is Pastelmat. What else? What else would it be? Okay. All right, so I better get stuck into it. Oh my goodness. You know, as usual, 20 minutes in and I haven't done anything. Chrissy is so funny talking. Then she gets excited, someone comes in, and then she gets all serious again. So funny. Well, I've got to welcome people in the stream. Okay, so there we go. So ask away. The boss just left. That's why I'm able to join. I'm obviously the best worker in the team. Oh, yes. And of course, I've got my paper towel where I can... and I used to clean my brushes as I'm working. So what I'm going to do here now, this is a really unusual thing. Well, I don't know if it's unusual, but it caught my eye. This is a galaxy, and this is like a mirror, and all of these airships, and like this is where the steampunk theme comes in. Oh, g'day Paolo, nice to see you here. It's very nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Noir says, I just finished my first Pastelmat with PanPastels and I'm in love with both. Absolutely. PanPastels and Pastelmat go very well together. I've got to say. All right, so hang on. I'll put a few things down. So what I might do, hopefully that'll stay there. Oh yeah, they do stay there. Okay, so there's a few ways. This is actually quite a large piece and can be quite overwhelming. Right. I've done larger, but that's okay. But when it gets to pieces this size, I block in quite a bit. This is not detailed by any means, but what I wanted to do was perhaps see if I could perhaps maybe, this is a little funny machine going in into another world. Gary says, Chrissy, is the initial sketch from a reference or did you draw this yourself? Okay, that's a very good question. And what I'll do is I'll show you the reference, which I actually made up. I had something in my head and I had a vision in my head. And so I went hunting for references. And I've actually put them together. Brenda says, reminds me of a movie. Wendy says, Gary, she put a few photos together to create it. Yes. Paulo says, sorry, I've got to pronounce your name correctly. Paulo says, I just got into pastels and I'm loving to learn. Oh, wonderful. You know what? There are so many kinds of pastels, so many kinds of techniques. You know what? And there's so many tutorials out there. Take your pick. Aren't we lucky to be able to have YouTube to go in and just see what everyone else is doing? And I think there's so much out there. Like I'm just, and there's so many in the chat. Like for example, there's Gary in the chat. There's Will from Unmask Art, who is my teacher, and who helps us all get through a lot of stuff, and Wendy, who's also got her Patreon channel and teaching us all stuff as well, and everyone else doing lovely art, which is wonderful. Steve says, I didn't okay, if you have Xrissart, Chrissy, okay, fine, all right, here we go. All right, so what I'm going to show you my reference. That's what, okay, I'll show you my reference. That's my reference. Now in this reference, I'll tell you now that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably about 9. Chrissy, tell us about your day and get to work. I know. This is what happens. I always end up talking. But I do have something to wet my whistle. Okay, I've got maybe iced tea without ice. Should I just have a sip? I'll just have a sip. Okay, one moment. Iced tea without ice, okay? That's all I'm going to tell you. All right, so, oh yeah, so this is my reference. Yeah. Very nice reference. Did you put it together on Photoshop? You know what? I did not. I put it together in Elements, which is Photoshop, which is just a level below Photoshop. Sure, T, says Jen. Yes, well, that's all I'm going to tell you, okay? Okay. All right. So this is my reference. So as you can see, I have a lot of work to do. So, okay. So here we go. But I also want you to see all the stuff that I'm using here. Looks a bit like J&B. Fine. Okay. Awesome. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do this little mechanism here. Now this is, oh yeah, do you remember, well, if people know steampunk, oh, hang on. Look, I had a spit on there. But steampunk, you see all of these little mechanisms. Okay, so I'll just get into it. I shouldn't be talking. I'm talking too much. Okay. I'm going to use some PanPastels just for some darks here. Desiree, haha, Chrissy, you're the only YouTuber that doesn't put me to sleep. Oh, is that? Oh, okay. That's all right. Well, thank you for that. All right. Oh, hang on. I need my glasses. What am I doing? I need my glass. G'day, Susie. How you going? Nice to see you here. I'm so excited. Hang on. Oh, I'm trying to find my glasses. Hang on a sec. Here we go. Okay, now I mean business, all right? I mean business. Iris says, that's very nice. Okay, here we go. Oh, sorry. Oh, and I've got my bit of paper where I can mix, and I've got my glassine so I don't put any oil on my hand. And I know that you guys know it, but I just wanted to tell people in case they didn't know what all this was about. I love these pastels on the black paper. Well, there you go, Cece. Oh, look, hang on, because Cece just came in. Okay, there we go. All right, so I better get to work. All right, so I'm using a Daler Rowney 1/8 of an inch. It's the only one I've got. I've got to desperately find another one. If I lose this, Cece, and glad I could make it. Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad you made it too. Okay, so, and this is the beauty of the brush. I just feel like I'm painting. And I just can't get away from this technique anymore. And I know this is, I'm painting tightly here, and I know all of that, and I know it's going to take a while, and I know that. Wendy says, I told you where to get them. I know, but it wasn't this one exactly. I looked. It wasn't this one exactly. Look, you know, it wasn't this one. Yeah, it wasn't this one. I don't mind buying a set of 10 just for one brush. That's fine. Oh, g'day, Renata. Nice to see you. Glad to. Renata says, glad to catch you again. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Will, does this remind you of a group that we all? This is our little hangout, isn't it? I mean, they just moved from your stream to this stream. This is wonderful. And of course, it's Will is the common denominator here. Unmask Art, who teaches us everything. Hang on, I'm just looking at my reference, and yeah, just looking at my reference. So, so people might ask me, what made you think of this kind of painting? Well, you know what? The fantasy themes and the themes, the fantasy themes, they're the themes that appeal to me. Yes, it's Wendy says yes, it's Will's fault. Chrissy and I even know each other. Absolutely. And there's Iris, and there's Steve, and there's Renata, and there's Anne, and well, of course, Cece. Oh my goodness, the list goes on. The list goes on. Yes, Will. Oh, okay. And Paulo, thank you so much. Like, you know, for joining in our lovely family here. This is just an extension of the family. That's all it really is. The Unmasked Art family. That's what it is. Okay, so back to business. And look how slow. Look how slow this is. This is like real slow. But that's okay. That's all right. I don't mind. I don't mind. Because I know what the result is going to be like in the end. It's just that I've just got to work, because traditionally, as for people that work in pastels, Jeff says, I think you might be able to get them at Spotlight if you have them over your side. I know Spotlight, Jeff. Jeff is my Aussie mate from the other side of Australia. I will check that out. Yes. Wendy says, this is true. Will, you are much better at working on stream, but then I usually get stuff done on her stream when we work together. Oh, okay. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. So, okay. So, first of all, I should tell you what I'm using here. This is, well, I know what it is. It's Raw Umber Extra Dark, and now this is my second pot. If I could show you. if I could show you my first pot is just, there's just pastel around the edges and it's all gone down to the bottom. But as you can see, look, it's starting to get down to the bottom because it's a much loved pan. Yeah, so there you go. So with this little brush, and I tell you what it is, it's slowly getting the pastel in the tooth of the paper, and I find that I have quite a bit of control, and that's all it is. And then after that, I'll go over with pastel pencil for detail. And more times I have found that I've used PanPastels this way, and I've taken it to the max. Wendy says, I keep on telling her to put, sorry, hang on a sec. I've got to find out what's going on here. I keep telling Chrissy to put me in her ear so I can read the chat to her so she can work and I can read it to her. Oh, that would be a good idea. You know what? I might try that. I'm going to do that. Maybe we'll experiment. You know what? This channel is all about experimentation. Jan says, I had that problem with my PanPastels extra dark as well. Sorry, she hasn't taken me up on that yet. Okay. CC says, what kind of paper is this? Pastelmat. Pastelmat, and this is the anthracite. You can buy it in sheets, like large sheets, and you can buy it in boards, and you can buy it in pads, you can buy it in small pads. G'day Shannon, hello Shiny, how you going? You and Will get work done. Wendy, get work done. Wendy on Chrissy streams, because Chrissy is very good host. Oh, thank you so much. Maybe too good. Distractions, yes, but very entertaining. Well, you know, look, I never get anything finished here. It's all about us connecting, isn't it? And just being together. Half the fun is listening to Chris rambling on. Yes, I do. I do. Well, I do, don't I? Well, I can't stop talking, can I? Okay. All right. So back to my little mechanism. You know what? I don't think I'm actually going to finish this at this rate. But anyway. So, okay, so I was talking about what my thought process was for this painting, and sometimes, look, because I've got a day job, right? My mind drifts off to art. If I could do this full time, oh my goodness, that would be just wonderful. Steve says, there is no doubt Will has brought all of us from around the world together. His influence, I believe, will be seen in our art as well. Not to be blubbery, but you have amassed a great art family. That is absolutely true. And Will, you are the common denominator. Absolutely the common denominator. That's what you are. Will says, I smile every time Chrissy says hi to someone new in the chat. I know, that's what Steve says. He actually cracks a few funny things about that, but I can't help it. I get excited about seeing people in the chat. What can I say? I'm happy to see everyone. Wendy says, a 2-hour stream and Chrissy can't even get a tree done the size of her finger. Okay, look, I'll be lucky if I finish this, okay? Anne says, I love listening to you lurking behind here while I work. So keep on rambling, honey. Oh, okay. All right, wonderful. Oh, yeah, we'll totally. Okay, wonderful. All right, okay, here we go. All right, well, I want to join in on what you guys are gas bagging about. Gas bagging. Now, that's Australian. Now, that's Australian talk for gas bagging. I'm going to give you one guess what that means. All right. G'day, Anthony. Nice to see you here. Wonderful. Good morning, Chrissy. I wonder where you're from, Anthony. Nice to see you here. Okay, here we go. Well, I'm trying to get into this and explain my process. I haven't got that far yet, but I know that I eventually will. Guest bagging. No, CC. Gas. GAS bagging. Gas bagging. In other words, all I do is just talk. Gas as in hot air, talk. Like a gas bag. There's hot air in a bag. Gas bagging. See, there you go. We have an Australian here who understands Australian. Oh, and Shiny as well. She understands what I'm talking about. Iris says, a stream with you, Annalise, needs to happen, and Wendy needs to be there to yell at you too. I'll be in the chat trolling as always. Absolutely. You know I'm always popping in Elisa's streams for sure. Yes, Iris, we take sides, don't we? Jan says, are we gas bagging enough to fill that balloon? Yes, see, you've got it, Jan. Absolutely. Wow, what paper do you use for mixing the colours before you apply? Very good question. Okay, this is a very old watercolour type. It's a drawing type. Very cheap. But what it is, and I'll show you something. Noir. Okay, say for example, I take this pastel, and I just want to make sure that you're looking at what I'm doing. So say for example, now it is powdery, right? Because if you're using a soft tool, it's not powdery. But and they're not made, these PanPastels aren't made for what I'm doing to them. So as you can see, there is a bit of powder and a bit of powder here. So, and then for example, if I wanted to bring this into the mix, so now what I've done is I've made a new color. So, and this is what I've been saying for quite a while, is that you can buy just a handful of PanPastels and mix. And this is the unique part about PanPastels. Now, I love soft pastels very much. And they're very good for what they do. But for me, it's like painting, only it's dry painting. Hopefully I've actually... and then if you wanted to go even lighter, now I've got to use my and like Sofft Tools, you've got to get a paper towel. And so for example, if I wanted to go lighter still, now this is raw umber tint, and now I've changed the value. So now if I can get closer, here we go, you can see right from that, and that's the beauty of it. Now I've only I stumbled on these, okay, because I started on paint brushes, and then I wanted to try other things. I wanted to experiment until I found something which I was really happy to work with. And this is it. I found this. Now you can use watercolor paper. You can use really any kind of paper. I mean, heck, you can even... I wouldn't use Pastelmat, because if you wanted to mix the like a scrap bit of Pastelmat paper, what would happen is that the pastels would go into the tooth of the paper. There's nothing wrong with that, but I actually do blend on Pastelmat itself too. But if I wanted to make a color that I don't have, this is how I would do it. And I hope I answered that question. Jack, oh, hang on, let me go back because I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss. Okay. Nice expression, says Paulo. Okay, well, you know what? There's a lot of expressions actually I come up with, but yeah, that's one of them. I get gas bagging. It's like self-serve checkout, but lots more talking. A lot more talking. Shannon. Okay, we have gas bagging in England too. Wonderful. Oh, so you're English, Jacqueline. Welcome, welcome. Again, I know I said that before, but okay. Jan says, I love this lesson. I'm learning more than the college courses I'm taking today. Can we do this all week? Well, you know, I'm going to see if I can try to live stream every Wednesday. Well, I'm down here. When I say down here, I mean my husband's built a little art studio for me, and he's given me half of his shed. Very blasphemous for those who love their sheds, their garages. And he's given me half of his shed. And so now I've inundated with all things art, and I'm down here all the time. Well, as much as I can anyway. So I thought to myself, I might as well live stream at least once a week. So here we go. So, okay. I like those chartreuse colors. Oh, okay. Well, this one is Diary Light Yellow shade. Okay. There's, and this one is, oh, that's Hansa Yellow. Okay. So, and there's also, and this one is, this is Raw Umber Tint. These are the two which I have used the most, that I've actually gone into my second one, actually, and my white, I think. So, there you go. So, all right. I want some, CC says, I want some PanPastels. You have to get some, sweetie. You have to get some. Try maybe just like a handful. Wow, a week color mixing. And I've also got a color mixing video on my YouTube channel. So maybe, Paulo, if you're interested, you should have a look, because it's extraordinary what you can do with these. Okay. Can we do... oh, g'day, Wicked. Nice to see you, sweetie. Thanks for popping by. Thanks for popping by. Paula says, can we do it on plastic paper like Yupo? You know what? I know Yupo. I haven't tried it. I don't think... You know what? Try it. But I don't think that it would... I don't think that it would work. Simple reason, because the pastel would be on the surface of Yupo, whereas here with Pastelmat, I have got so many layers here. I have lost count of how many layers. Oh, g'day, Nanette. Nice to see you here. Oh, it's lovely to see you here. I hope you're okay. I know that you messaged me and you said you're okay and that the storm didn't affect you. That was fine. Okay. All right. Oh, back to this. I've got to be back to this. Concentrate, Chrissy. Concentrate. Okay. So, hang on. I've got to get to my reference as well. So, what I'm using here is Raw Umber Tint. Yupo for mixing. Look, you know what, Paulo? I haven't done it. Not for drawing. I understand. You know what? Give it a go. And if you give it a go, because I don't have the Yupo, I know the Yupo and I know what it is, let me know. And I would love to see if you get the same results that I do on Pastelmat. Yeah. Jacqueline says Amazon do starter packs of PanPastels, or you can buy them as yes, separate ones. Yeah, you can too. Wendy says she just needs to call in sick a couple of days, and she has plenty of sick. Well, that's right. I've got plenty of sick leave. No, I can't do that, Wendy. If I'm sick, I'm sick, and I can't go. Then if I'm sick, then I can't do art. I have to take a leave day. Hello, Shiny says, oh, Chrissy. Just to make you jealous, I'm going to Sydney tomorrow to watch a burlesque show. Ooh, that's a bit saucy. Very saucy. Okay, well, thanks for that. All right, hang on. I've just got to get into this now because I haven't done much. I've been talking a lot. Okay, and here I am. I'm using Yellow Ochre Extra Dark. Is that music too loud? Please tell me if it's too loud, I'll turn it down. Okay, so Oh, and look, and there's all sorts of bugs around. Renata says, don't think it will work. It will glide above the surface. Yes, Renata, yeah, and will not stick, so you can't mix. Yeah, music is fine. Okay, thanks. I need to wet my whistle again. More iced tea. Hang on a sec. Here we go. Iris says, oh, there is music. I thought my brain was acting up. Music is nice. Okay. Nanette says, is anyone doing Inktober this year? Yes. Well, I'm going to attempt. For all of you who, and I know a lot of you do know, but Will from Unmask Art is going to be doing everyday live streams. So make sure you go in and have a look. I mean, I'm going to be catching hopefully everyone. Even if I'm falling asleep, I'll be making sure that I'm there all the time. So I am going to try. It's a big commitment to do, you know, Inktober. You know, and of course there is the prompts are already out there. They've been out there for a while. So yeah, I'm just oh, g'day Heidi, Lady Marigold, thanks for popping by. Hi all, better late than never. Never right, slept in today. Oh, that's okay, lucky you, you can sleep in. Wow, never happens to me, of course. It had to happen today, but coffee and breakfast in hand, now all is good. Wonderful, thanks for popping by, Heidi, nice to see you. Okay. Iris says, oh, he is. I asked the other day, yep. Anne says, question to you people, is any one of you from Russia? I'll be visiting St. Petersburg next month, and maybe we'll go to see the Hermitage Museum, huge art museum. Wonderful. Wonderful. Wendy says, because Chrissy gets so much done now, can you imagine her trying to get one done each day? Yes, it's not going to happen. I've got a plan. To get one done each day, I've got to plan ahead. That's what I've got to do. And plus, with ink, it works differently, doesn't it? Nanette says, oh, okay. That's really good, like Russia, St. Petersburg. Oh, that means you're going to have to buy, oh, Anne, you're going to have to buy some watercolor paints from there, because that's where White Nights comes from. The Russians make that, so that's wonderful. If you don't have any, you should go shopping for art supplies. Okay. All right. Now, I know this looks like nothing at the moment, but I promise, you know I come good in the end, or sort of, anyway. You know I come good. I end up finishing it at some point. Okay. All right. So, there you go. Iris says, I was about to say, buy some vodka. Yeah, art supplies. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Sharon says, Wendy, fair comment about Chrissy, but that's my world, but it's how I somehow do get things done. Like I've got so much to do, I can't deal, so I grab a distraction. Ah, yes. Okay. Well, the idea is that you're picking up tips and tricks, you know, and you guys are all accomplished artists, so you're not learning anything from me, but that's for sure. But it's more getting together and connecting. Anne says, White Nights is the watercolor I use. Oh wow! But I must check out if they are cheaper there. Yes, 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 absolutely, absolutely. Okay, okay. And see how, I mean, see how slow this is. I mean, apart from me talking and, you know, being a bit of a chatterbox, um, being a chatterbox. Well, you know what a chatterbox is too, don't you? We all learnt a lot about what not to do in a recent live stream. Oh, thanks, Nanette. Absolutely. You know what? How many goof ups? Tell me. How many goof ups do I do? Like, so many. So many. Wendy says, Chrissy Chrissy called me accomplished. Funniest thing I have ever heard all year. Well, Wendy, you finish things. I don't. Well, on stream, that is. I mean, I don't finish things on stream. But, you know. But this one is actually going to take me a little bit longer because it's 2 times A3. Wendy says, yes, she's very good at teaching what not to do. Oh, I know. What is it? Do as I say, not as I do. There you go. Okay. But you know what? I'm going to see how I go. I'm actually going to see if I can get this done. Well, at least block in. Okay. So this is my, this is the aim. This is the aim. Hey, hey, that's, oh, okay. CC, I got heaps of pics on it. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So as you can see, this technique is very slow. It might as well be colour pencil, but it's not. But I just, it's faster than colour pencil and just different, isn't it? Yeah, so hopefully, hopefully my sound is okay and that I'm not going to, well, hopefully my sound won't go because it's been cutting in and out. So I'm sure you'll be screaming out at me. Wendy says, sorry, Hello Shiny says, accomplished. Wiki Chrissy Media. Chrissy Media means, yeah, you finished something. Well, thank you for that. That's so funny. Chrissy Media. Well, that's a new, well, you know what? I call it Chrissyisms. But that's good. I like that one. Okay, so accomplished means we finish. Sweet. Then I am very accomplished, except the 3 sitting on my easel waiting for me to finish. Wonderful. Okay. Thank you, Jan. You sound lovely. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Oh, and here's something else I've got to mention. Okay. Some of you may know that Wendy and I get together about once a month and we live stream and we talk all things art. Now, it could be anything that we come up with, but seeing as Inktober is just around the corner, we thought that we would do something with inks, right? To sort of maybe introduce the inks that we have in our studio and stuff like that. So I thought I'd sort of plug. It'd be on the weekend sometime. Usually we do it at the end of the month, but my son is graduating from the army at the end of the month, so we've brought it 1 week earlier. So that's why we're doing it, but on the weekend. So we're going to be talking all things ink, Inktober, and who knows what else, right? So I just wanted to also mention that. So I'm actually been live streaming quite a bit this week. I happened to be a guest on, so fortunate to be a guest on Will's live stream, which I'm so fortunate. And again, live streaming today and live streaming with my lovely art friend Wendy. So Hello Shiny says, hello Shiny says, Chrissy, is the pic all your own drawings or reference pics put together? reference pics put together. I had an idea in my head. I wanted a galaxy, I had a galaxy landscape in my head, and I had a picture in my head how I wanted it to look, and then I just went looking for references. Now there would be, I don't know how many I counted probably about 8 or 9 images here, and I've put them together how I wanted them to look. So, and that's one thing that you can do, like for example people who want to get straight to the painting can do that. I mean, I can draw, yes I can draw, but I'm on a schedule here, and I mean I'm just trying to do as much art as I possibly can. So drawing this would take me a very long time. So so that's how I did it. Anne says, do once a week Inktober collaboration live stream together with Wendy. Oh, that would be interesting. Oh my goodness, that would be so hard. But maybe not, because this was my plan. First of all, I'm gonna get back to you, Anne. I've got an idea of how I'm gonna do Inktober. Iris says, I will definitely try to catch the live stream. Stupid time differences ruins everything. I know. I'm so sorry. I try to find a time that I'm playing with times, so I can find a time where everyone can join in. Hello Shiny says, yeah, Wendy and Chrissy do a live stream called An Argument With. It's a conversation with, but it could be an argument with. Yes, I do agree. Where Wendy bosses Chris's round. Yes, absolutely. It's a race, yeah. And of course I don't have the comebacks. I'm not that quick. Okay, I started, Wendy was saying, I'm starting a list of words Chrissy mispronounces. Schedule. You see, you know, Wendy says schedule, but I say schedule, and I'm going to stick to that. Okay, so, oh gosh, maybe it's us pronouncing it all wrong. Could be, says Annette. Okay. And what I'm going to try to do for Inktober, oh gosh, here we go. What I'm going to try to do for Inktober is, like what you said, I'm actually going to take 5 days. I'm going to do it weekly and take, say, the 5 prompts and try to make a picture out of that, a painting out of that, but just the 5 prompts, and then see if I can do that like 1 a week. So with the 5 prompts, which is a fantastic idea, because I know, and I've got a very good memory because I love your work so much, Anne, that I remember a very, very long time ago, you had one great big painting, and every day you were doing an ink theme, or, you know, a prompt, and you made a great big painting of it. I remember that. Oh, that sounds cool. Love that idea. Yep, so there you go. Wendy says, Nanette, I think since Chrissy is in the minority, I tend to think it is her. Huh? What have I done? What have I done? I'm pronouncing words. I'm pronouncing them correctly. I know what I'm saying. You don't know how to speak. Well, I can say that to Wendy because she tells me I don't know how to speak. There you go. Chrissy, you okay. Oh, thank you, Shiny. Thank you so much. Okay. I don't think I should be doing this just yet. Here we go. Hang on. Actually, what I should be doing is mixing this and this, because I haven't got quite the colour that I want. And this is the beauty of this, see? So now look, it's very powdery. Look, it's very powdery, as you can see, right? Just want to make sure. As you can see, very powdery, right? But that's okay, right? But that's okay because it's like dry paint. Iris says, I was thinking to try Inktober this year and just make like 3/4 videos with all the prompts. Absolutely. Fantastic idea, Iris. Go for it. CC says, I want to live stream too. Haha. I'm curious how to set up. Also, I have to find something original to do. Maybe my acrylic painting. You know what, CC? Ask your brother. This is where I learned this from. This is his model. This is where I learnt it from. Yeah. Okay, so back to painting. Sorry. And I think this might need a little bit darker here. Now I'm just flicking around with my reference. I'm just zooming in into my little contraption here, as you can see. Okay, hello Shiny says, CC, sometimes there are copies going on like in Newcastle. Newcastle is where I work and I live very close. This is a place here in New South Wales, Australia. Been a totally similar happening for years, but now Dr. Sketchy's, I'm not quite sure about that, but seriously love to go to any burlesque. Ooh, very saucy, isn't it? Okay. Nanette says, this is such a weird painting, Chrissy. I really love it. Oh yeah, it's very weird. Well, you know, I was just about to say I'm weird, but I'm not really weird. But I'm weird in a nice way. I think I'm going to stop right there because that sounds really weird. As it left my mouth, that sounded really weird. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Now, as you know, and you might not be able to see, and you know what, I might zoom in. I'll zoom in. How about, hang on, let me just zoom in so you can see. Ooh. I'm not quite sure whether you can see. I'm zooming in. Is that not enough? You are weird in a delightful way. Oh gosh. You're not weird, you're fantastic. Thanks, Jan. Oh gosh. Okay. All right. So. All right. Now, all I'm doing here is just blocking. Okay. And what I was about to say is that I'm going to use my vacuum cleaner. You know, I'm going to use my Devil. Okay. The reason why we call it Devil is because that's what it's called. Okay, here we go. See, look, it's called Devil. Now this is bad. Now all the pastel artists, please don't say horrible things about me. But you know what? What am I going to do? It's the lesser of two evils. Wendy says we are fantabulously weird. We are artists, absolutely. Lindy says, Chrissy, you are working with pastel into the tooth or just, oh, okay. We have a question. Wonderful. Are you working with pastel into the tooth or just laying it on top of the paper? No, I'm working it into the tooth. That's the idea of the brush. That's the idea of the brush. And because of Pastelmat, you can there's quite a few layers. Now I have been very gentle with how I use my brush, but now I'm just going to put a little bit of a highlight just so you can see. And look, it is so tiny. Right? So tiny, and sometimes because I think I may have picked up too much pastel, I just dab on my paper towel. And just let me have a look at where my reference is, what it's saying. Oh yeah, it's just right there. See? Can you see that? Oh, sorry. Yeah, maybe I can move it. Here we go. I just want to make sure that you can see. Here we go. And so, there you go. Okay, now tell me she is not weird. Seriously? Wendy says, you didn't even realise it till I started calling it the devil. I know. That just goes to show how observant I am. Not observant, am I? And even on stream as well. Like, how embarrassing is that? Absolutely. Don't forget the light soy sauce for highlights on the mirror. Okay. Well, look, there's so much going on here, right? That's all just blocked in. That's all that is. I'm nowhere near details. This is going to take me forever and a day. Lady Marigold, Heidi says, Jason Morgan agrees with you about the vacuum and says to just make sure it has a HEPA filter. I agree. Absolutely, yeah. Because how am I going to do this? If I'm... Okay, because I'm filming, it's a bit hard to do it on an easel, right? You can film it, but it just takes a little bit more effort into that, which I've done quite a few times. So what happens when the dust falls down? Doesn't those particles come up into your face? What about if you tap? Don't the particles go into the air? So you tell me. I've tried everything. I've even made like a nice little flap underneath my easel where it can catch all the pastel, and then I take that out and I just dispense with it. I've done it all. Nice highlights, very visible. Yeah, very good. This is only will take forever and a day when you live stream. Oh yeah, well that's right. But it's all about connecting here, isn't it? I mean, I like connecting with you guys. That's what I like doing. And I might even get to finish this little thing. Maybe. Steve says, Chrissy, forever and a day? Well, you got the day down and we are waiting on the forever to even start. I've made a pouch for the pastel dust too. Oh, wonderful. You're going to have to show me a photo somehow, Jan. Maybe an Instagram or a Facebook or somehow, get it to me. I would love to see what you do. Because I've actually made pastel pouches as well for storage. And that's another conversation altogether. Yeah. Nanette says, would you mind showing the whole piece? I might have missed that in the beginning. Absolutely. All right. Okay, hang on a sec. I'll show you. Hang on a sec. Okay. This is it here. This is it. Oh, okay. Hang on. I've got to zoom out. So that's it there. And what I'll do is I'll also show you what my, you need to zoom out again. What do you mean? Okay. That's as far as my camera will go. Okay. But I'll show you a reference photo as well, if I can do this right. That is what I'm looking at. That's my reference photo. And this is what I've put together. So see these, see this couple here, they're steampunk. And even the Zeppelins and all of that, and all of these funny little mechanisms going into another world. Where is my mind when I'm thinking about all of these things? This is going to be epic. Well, it's going to be something. I don't know what it's going to be. I hope I can pull it off. This is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that I can pull it off. But that's my reference. Maybe, so there it is there. So there you go. This is this fellow here. And this is this woman here. Yeah. So there you go. Okay. So, so that's what it's sort of, hopefully, I don't know, but it might not be exact like that, but I'm hoping to get close to it. How about that? Cece says, what camera do you have hanging above you? I have a Panasonic. Let me see, what is it? It's a Panasonic video cam, and I have a Logitech looking at me. Yeah, and I have a video capture card which captures all of everything on OBS, and that's how it works. Nanette says, you absolutely will pull it off. We all have faith in you. Maybe. Maybe. I hope so. I hope so. Well, you know, anything is better than the hand I did. Remember that first hand, Nanette, I did? That monkey hand? Was it monkey hand? Anyway. So if I can do that, then I can do this, I think. So back to this. So, and this is the good thing with the paper. Look, I've got paper towel, I've got the glassine paper, I've got all sorts of things going on, and none of my surface is affected. And that's something to think about too. The ugly hand. Yeah, that's right. I remember it so well. One day I would love to see your setup for live streaming. Monkey hand and deer cow after that. That's right. Remember that one? The deer, the cow. Oh my gosh. The cow. No, sorry. The deer that looked like a cow for a very long time. You got to go and have a look at some of those streams. If the people that weren't in those streams, you got to go back and have a look. It's embarrassing. Well, it's cringe material. That's what it is. Oh no, that's okay, Cece. That's wonderful. Yeah, I will show you my my live stream setup. It's a bit of a like I've got a green screen behind me. I've got lights around me to make sure that my surface here is lit very well so you guys can see it. I've got light underneath here. Yeah, there's all sorts of things that go into live streaming. But you can do things like from Facebook. You can live stream from Facebook and Instagram. It all depends how you want to present it, CC. So, and Jan, yeah. Every painting has an ugly face. It's just that yours were public. Absolutely. Renata says, what about the nice ice bear? Oh yes. One time, oh my gosh, I better do some painting. There was one time we were live streaming and I was doing, Renata is correct, I was doing a helmet, not a helmet, a breastplate on one of my playing card decks. It was a jack, and it looked like a polar bear, and I couldn't tell until everybody was telling me that looks like a polar bear. Am I right? That is right. That is correct. Renata, you've got a very good memory. Okay, I've got to get back to doing this. Okay. All right. I'm just making sure that I can see. G'day, Christy. Nice to see you here. Sorry to ask question that's been asked before, but what brand are your double-ended brushes again? Love your work. Thank you very much. No, you can ask this question as many times as you want. Okay. Oops. 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 Hang on. Here we go. They're called Ecotools. Ecotools. They're a makeup brush which I bought from my supermarket, and they're available on Amazon. I use these the most. I find that I use these less and less. I love using Sofft Tools, particularly like with a size like this. This is like a good size, and even like the sponges and all of that. But when it comes to details like this, although PanPastel make the little applicators, like these little makeup brushes, like they look like they're not makeup brushes, but they look like it, like eyeshadow applicators. But they don't make things like this or like this. But that's only because, this technique is really good for PanPastel. For Pastelmat paper. The combination between these two is very good. But you know what? You can experiment, and that's the beauty of it. You can experiment. They are eco. I got Nanette, you bought some too. But also found them in a grocery store. Absolutely, because that's where I got mine. Lindy says, which supermarket in Australia for the brushes, Chrissy? Coles. And Wendy says, they take a bit of getting used to. Chrissy uses them differently than I do. But we all have different techniques, which is fun. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's it. And this is what I'm trying to get at, that everyone has different ways of working. I just have managed to find a way that works okay for me. And I haven't done very much, which is quite normal. Yeah. Christy says, I believe you can get them at Walmart as well. Well, there you go. Wow, that's pretty good. And but you know, don't forget about other brushes, right? Don't forget about, see, look, these are just ordinary paint brushes. These are ordinary paint brushes. Try everything. Try everything. That's what you got to do. I live in the Hickory area of, oh, okay. Okay, so as you can see, just applying the pan very delicately. Oh, there we go. If anything, I should try to finish this little creature, or this little machine today. Yeah, so, and of course, look, it well, you can't see, but it does get powdery, okay? So that is a warning. I'm just saying it is. But remember, and I know I've said it and I keep on saying it, but I just want people to understand that that's not how these pans, this is not what these pans were. They weren't made to be used the way I used them. But you know what? There's no right or wrong, is there? Is there? Hang on, I need to wet my whistle again. Jan says, I know we have Walmart, Publix, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, AC More, Cheap Joe's in Boone. Must be where you live. Did I say that I was addicted to art supplies? Oh, yeah. 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 And so don't forget, I'm also going to use pastel pencils for this as well. This is just... And I'm using raw umber tint here. Just makes things pop. And it's not white. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, so Cheap Joe's. Have I bought something off Cheap Joe's? I don't know if I have. Heidi says, do you spray any kind of fixative on your art when you're finished? Now, I knew someone was going to ask me that question. And I'll tell you what. Now, for me, I don't use fixative. The reason why I don't use fixative for a few reasons. Number one is that the Pastelmat absorbs so much of the pastel that I don't need to use it. That's one reason. Number two, if I lay down a fixative, and I've used so many brands, so many, and I'm yet to come up with something that is suitable. And I know with I know Jason Morgan uses Spectrafix. Now I'm going to show you something because I learnt this from him as well. So this is the beauty of YouTube. Everyone's sharing wonderful information. So I'll just show you something. For me, Heidi, I don't use any, but if I'm going to use anything, it will be this. Now this is in a pump spray. The problem with this is that when you spray, droplets come out, and yeah, it's probably not ideal. But I emptied this in this. Now, as you can see, I haven't used it because the pastel work that I've done, I haven't needed to, and I probably won't. And if I do, I'm going to experiment again. I have tried so many. I have tried so many. I have tried, oh my gosh, I can't even, like the good brands too, Schminky, Winsor Newton, so many. But, but I bought this last week, Krylon workable fixative, and apparently it protects pencil, chalk drawings and all of that. I'm going to give it a go on a spare bit of paper. But the reason why I bought this was because when I'm going to do some oil painting, and what I'm going to use this for is to, once I lay my drawing on my oil, on my surface, I'm going to use Krylon to seal the graphite. So when I start painting, the graphite doesn't lift, and that's what I'm going to use that for my oil paintings, not for my pastel paintings. But it says here, protects pencil, pastel and chalk drawings, prevents smudging and wrinkling, allows easy rework and all of that. But on my pastel paintings, no. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, but thank you for your question. I know, but I know Jason Morgan uses it, I think. I'm not quite sure, but I think he tries to avoid it as well, to be honest. An artist who also I have a lot of respect for, just wonderful. I've learned so many things from him. I've been following him for years, before he even got into pastels, which is a nice change that he got into pastels. Wendy says, I'm almost positive you have not purchased from Cheap Joe's. You think I haven't? I'm trying to think whether I have or not. I may not have. I've purchased from Jerry's. I've purchased from Dick Blick. I've purchased from lots of places over there, but maybe not. I'm not sure. I've bought so many art supplies, I'm actually not sure. And Wendy says, yes, I ruined a piece that I absolutely loved by doing that. I will never do it again. See, that's the problem. Oh, it's a nightmare when you use it. Yeah. Nanette says, that's exactly what I use. I still sometimes get spots, but nothing awful. Nanette, do you mean the Spectrafix? I think that's what you mean. I think that's what you mean. And Jan says, I have used Krylon. Yes. Yeah, Krylon, but I'm not going to use it on my pastels, okay? I'm going to use it for my oil paintings on my drawing before I start. Renata says, have you tried to use your airbrush with this? My airbrush. I've got an airbrush and I haven't pulled it out. That's so naughty. I've spent a lot of money on it as well. It lies. It lies? I believe you are right. Okay. All right. Hang on a sec. Okay. Yeah, I mean the Spectrafix. Okay. In the other pump container. That one. Wendy says, I use Krylon for my graphite and charcoal and sometimes color pencil. Okay, yep. Yeah, so in a nutshell, I try to avoid as much as possible the fixative, because it will just destroy. I think it discolors. There are too many cons and not enough pros for me. Not enough pros. It's just, well, it's ruined. It's ruined quite a few of my paintings. Yeah, it has. Wendy says, don't feel bad. I've had my airbrush for 2 years and had to get even, and I have to get it. I have yet to even use it. Tim uses it now with his minis. At least someone's using it. Wonderful. Hello, Shiny says, Lisa and John were talking today about how you can use water-soluble graphite under other mediums, and that sounds cool. I like water-soluble graphite. It isn't shiny. I have those, and I'm actually going to have a go at that as well. Like on a live stream, so you can all make fun of me. That's the idea, isn't it? I would love to try an airbrush system, says Jan. Not that there's any wrong with shiny. Okay. I got my airbrush paint in the mail this morning and already using it. Oh my goodness, Will! I would love to see what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to do a tutorial for us and show us how you use your airbrush. Oh yes, wonderful. Okay, as you can see, I've made little progress, but that's all right. Hang on a sec, let me bring out the I'm going to use now some pastel pencils to define some of this. Wendy says, I have the complete set of liquid graphite just sitting here, yet one more thing to try. Okay, all right. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm using here. Pastel pencil, Faber-Castell 175. I use this a lot. It's almost like a raw umber. A raw umber. Not quite black, but maybe I can zoom in and you can have a look. Sorry. Here we go. And I need to sharpen this as well. Hang on a sec. Oh, great. That didn't work. Hang on a second. Will says, I painted a magic card. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Faber-Castell, one of the lovely pastel pencils that I love using. Oh, and if you see any bugs around my painting, it's because we're approaching summer here. Well, it's springtime, but that's how you can tell, because it was actually quite warm here today. And that's how you can tell all the moths and the bugs are now in the air. And what I do sometimes too is even like with the pastel pencil, I also use the brush to blend with, and I do that as well. And as you can see, there's not really much Paulo says 175 is dark sepia. Well, there you go. Not like a raw umber. Thank you for that. See, because it doesn't really say the colour. It just says the number. So that's interesting. And it is like a sepia. Exactly. Yeah, it is. Yeah. There you go. So there you go. It's not sharp enough, actually. I'm trying to get a sharp pencil here. That's what I'm using. See if I can get it sharp. Sorry for the shaking. Oh, here we go. That's what I'm looking for. That. And that's how I destroy my sharpeners, actually, because I want them. I pay a lot of money for sharpeners like this. A lot of people don't like these, but they're very good. I love having art supplies just to have them. They keep me warm at night, says Hello Shiny. I have only a handful of pastel pencils, but I'm trying to collect more. You know what, Jan? Brands like this, brands like, let me get them, hang on a sec. Brands like Brunzil Pastel Pencil, brands like, hang on, let me get them. Carbothello, Stabilo Carbothello. This is just, hang on a sec, one more. Conti's, I know I've got some here. Here we go, Conti's. These are all open stock. So you can actually buy these, like just buy a handful, which would be fantastic. Hang on, did I miss something? Wendy says, yes, yes, they are like a favorite blanket or toy. So comforting to have them all. Then when you get inspired, you already have the supplies and can't just jump, and you can just jump right into it. Well, that's my excuse. I needed like 4 kinds of color pencils in the other night doing the boot, and I was glad to have them saved up. The boot, as in Will's, the boot from Unmasked Art. He's got a lovely little coloring in painting. If you're on his Patreon channel, you would know what that means. Who's going? See you all soon. Off to work I go. Oh, see you later, Cece. Thank you so much, sweetie, for popping by. It's so nice to see you. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again soon. Talk soon for sure. Your art supplies. Okay. The problem with that sharpener is it doesn't have an auto stop, so you can blow through your pencils very quickly. Yes, it does, but I sort of work it out. That is true. Yes, it does do that. That's the only downside of it all, I think. Yeah. Buying them from open stock. Oh, okay. That is, Jan says that is what I'm doing, buying them from open stock. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I'm nowhere near. I can't believe that I'm nowhere near. I've done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing all this time. All I'm doing is just gas bagging. Well, at least we're sharing tips and tricks and things like that. Okay, but see how even like with the pastel pencil, I can use the brush to blend that through. There's not much contrast at the moment. This is where I'm actually going to use perhaps a darker pencil. All right, I'm just going to leave this for the time being, and I'm actually going to just see if I can get stuck into some of the mirror. How about that? So it's not so boring for you. More detail in the mirror. Can you see? What can you see? Yeah. Wendy says, you almost have your finger tree based. Your finger tree based. You can tell the weather by how the cats sleep in winter. They are under the covers. Oh, wow. Well, for us here, that's how you can tell with the weather, because all the moths and all the bugs, and of course all the bugs, in winter time, I didn't have the bugs around my lights, but now I've got the bugs. So if they're floating around, you know what that means. Or you know it's all got to do with the warm weather. Not the mirror, you need to zoom out. Oh, okay. Here we go. Is that all right? Not the mirror. You need to zoom out. Okay. So as you can see, this is a really slow process, but for me satisfying in the end, because it's all about the end. It's all about the end result, isn't it? It's all about the end result. I'm just having a look at my reference. That's all I'm doing now. Sorry, I'm just having a look. Sorry. Jan says, I've got to get ready to leave for class. This has been great. I hope to friend many of you on FB. I'll be Jan Lindy on there. Have a good one. Oh, Jan, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for joining in, and thank you for your questions, and hope to see you again here sometime. Again, I'll be doing this every Wednesday night. If I can. That's the plan. That's the plan. Jeff. Yep. Bye, Jan. Sorry, have to leave. Need to finish lunch. Bye. Oh, thank you so much, Noir, for popping by. So appreciate you coming by. See you again soon as well. Yeah. Yeah. See, as you can see, it's just a very slow process. And all it means is, are you prepared to do that? You just keep on changing brushes. Now, I keep on changing things. I bought this brush. And I just wanted to see if that works. And that works okay too. It's all about it being picked, the pigment being picked up. Desiree, you must, Wendy says, I am keeping her to this Wednesday schedule. She will be here. Nanette, she's out front. Hang on, Nanette. She's out front of house right now. Sleeps on the front deck like a guard dog, but comes inside sometimes. Oh, that'd be Wendy, right? Desiree, you must be inspiring. Have my PanPastels for a month now, and only swatching them out now. Desiree, get to it. Get to it. You got it. But swatching is good, because that's what happens to me when I'm trying new art supplies. I swatch too, because I want to play with them, but and it's good because you can actually, I'm not sure about that one now actually. And that's a good way to play with art supplies, is to do those sorts of things. Yeah, I'm always going back to the Ecotools, aren't I? Yeah. So as I'm just looking at my reference and just keep on going with all my darks. There's so much to do here. And you know what I also like to do when I'm not live streaming, or when I'm just down here, I also like to listen to music, to epic music, and I also like to listen to audio books. So you know what's really interesting is, like, if when you guys are painting, what makes you sit down on your bum and just sit there and just paint, which is very interesting. Do you sit in silence? Do you listen to music? Do you listen to a lot of noise? Oh, sorry, make sure I'm in. Do you listen to noise? What is it? Because I'm always listening to noise. Oh, g'day Novix, how are you? Welcome, welcome, nice to see you here. Painting with pastels on Pastelmat. What else would it be? Heidi says, I'm loving the PanPastels a lot and use them on regular paper with coloured pencil too for background. Oh, that's wonderful. A lot of people use them for that and they're just wonderful and you get wonderful results, which is fantastic. Nanette says, do you have any idea how long this will take? Will you have other things going on or will you be monogamous? I'm not monogamous, okay? I'm not monogamous. I'm going to have a few things going. I like how you put it. That's very nice. I probably will have about maybe 2 or 3. Oh, gosh. I thought you liked calling me. Oh my gosh. Nanette says, I listen to audiobooks. Hello Shiny says, she's polymonomorous. I can't even pronounce that. Nanette says, clearly it is going to take 2 years at this rate. Oh gosh. Oh, look, I've got to get into the art. Will says, thanks. Anne says, I either listen, I listen to you guys while I do art or watch some Netflix series. See, that's real. That's PanPastels. That's PanPastelomorous. Okay. Okay. So, well, and then, okay. Hello, Shiny says, I never listen to music. I find it noise, but I can handle live streams and to show like boring ones. Oh goody, another word we can add to the list. Well, yeah, no, I end up listening to a lot of music and I end up listening because I used to read a lot, but since I got so much into art, I don't have time to read. So what I do is I listen to the audio books as well, and it helps me keep my bum on the seat, pretty much, you know, pretty much. Oh my goodness, I've hardly done anything since you guys have been here. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, okay. Nanette says, I love to listen to classic rock when I'm listening to a book. Seriously, so you've got 2 things going, Nanette. Wicked says, first was music, then TV. Now it's suitable for drawing for YouTube videos and movies. A TV show that don't require much watching usually ends up with very little drawing. Yes, I know. And sometimes that happens to me too. Like I look up, but and that's why I do the audio, the books. I love listening to that, and of course like epic music, like I like really epic music. I love listening to that. You out of frame when working on the top of the mirror. Okay, all right, hang on, let me see if I can. All right, I think that's about as far as I can go. Hang on, there we go. Thanks, Wendy. Yeah. Renata says that makes us art sisters. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, I mean, this is slow because I'm talking. Okay, but I would have finished this and this by now, surely in 2 hours for sure. Let's see if I can get some definition going here, if I can. And I'm using Conti black. And I try to avoid black, but I can see that this needs a lot of contrast. And I tell you, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to block a lot of this, and I'll block a lot of this, and then I'll go back and then I'll start putting the details. I'll get to a point where it's about like 90%, and then I'll go back because I want to see how all the colors look, how all the contrast looks, how all the highlights look, and then just start. And I can see this is going to take me a while. Hello Shiny says, I get with the audiobooks, I've bought a few free ones. I should try them out. Absolutely. You'd be surprised. Then you get into it and then you go, oh, where's the next book? That's what happens. And that's where I've been listening to J.R. Tolkien's Silmarillion. Silmarillion is the backstory of Lord of the Rings, and of course it's fantasy. I love that, as you know. So all of that, I just love all of that. Wendy says, if they were free, would it technically be purchasing? Not sure. There are some that you can. Well, you know what? I actually go onto YouTube, and I've got YouTube going, and there are audio books for free, and that's where I get mine. I haven't paid for any. Bit. I got free ones for joining up. Okay. Renata says, I'm silly at the moment, haven't slept for 35 hours. Oh my gosh, Jet, I'm more tired. Oh my gosh, how does one do that? Renata says, but Chrissy makes me stay awake. Oh gosh. Renata, I love that tired, silly state when you're with someone else. It's real funny. You just say heaps of stupid stuff and giggle. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, even when I'm not tired, I say stupid stuff and stuff like that. Okay. I haven't gotten very far with this. And what I'm going to use, I'm actually thinking of also using Sofft Pastels for the background as well. So we'll see how we go. There's a lot going on with this one. So I might have to do a lot of this on maybe on the live streams. Okay. There we go. This is a bit weird, isn't it? This funny mechanical world going into a lovely natural world. Oh, Wendy says Chrissy is a hoot when she's tired. You think she laughs at herself now? That takes it to a whole different level. Jacqueline says, do you complete one area first before going to another? No. No, I do not. I will finish this about 90%. And I'll keep on going. And the reason why I do that is because I want to, I know that each artist works differently. Some artists will just work on this area and then they'll finish. They'll work this area and then they'll finish that and that's it. But for me, I take it to about 90% and then I have a good look at it, and then I start to go in with detail and make sure that my highlights are right, my darks are right. I punch it up with contrast, with different colors and all of those sorts of things. So no, I don't. I probably go about 80 to 90, mostly 90%. So that's why you see that this is not finished. Nowhere near. Yeah. Renata says, I had to work yesterday early. Then there were no nurse to catch my work at the afternoon. Get home at 2200 hours and have to work again at 6. Oh my gosh, no sleep. Come home and saw Xrissart. So here I am. Oh, Renata, thank you so much for popping by. I so appreciate it. Not if you want to finish it, Chrissy. Well, that's right, Jeff. Okay. Need to do something, Chrissy, to pop the helmet and forward. It's jumping out of the frame. Is it? Is it? What am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? Wendy says, and then Chrissy posts it and says she's done. Then she talks to me and changes her mind. Yes. Yes. That's all right. Wendy says, on the artwork, it's what she's talking. Sorry, I hope you stay healthy, Renata. The schedule sounds brutal. On the artwork is what she's talking about. Oh, yeah. Okay. And this is like a really little weird little mechanism, this one. I don't like, see now look, I don't like the way this Conti, it's scratching actually on the PanPastel, which is really interesting because some people swear by Contis. But with PanPastels, I think I always have problems with it. This is what I'm doing, just so you can see. Okay, these are cheapies, right? These are cheapies. And I just, after I finish a project, I just chuck it because they're $2.50. They're not that expensive. And I mean, that's not bad. I don't like to use black, but this is just so, it needs it at the moment. It needs this at the moment. And I'll flick this on again just so you can see. It's this area. That's what I'm doing there. Just so you can see, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah. It just needs to be darker. But thankfully, Pastelmat lets me build a whole heap of layers. So I'll be fine. Oh. Okay. How long have I been streaming? Oh my gosh, 2 hours. Too long. Might have to finish soon. I'll see if I can finish this. Probably in a few more, probably about 5 or 10 minutes. I won't call this finished at all. I can't believe that I've only done this. I can't believe I've only done that. You guys distract me. Looking forward to seeing the finished piece. That's a dip pot. I've got them, Chrissy. Okay. Oh, yes, it is. 2 hours and your accomplishments on this tree is astounding. It's not a tree. It's a mechanism of some sort. Okay. Hang on. I can't not finish this area, or at least close. Okay. Well, I tell you what, this is the only one that I've got. In answer to your little comment before, Nanette, at the moment this is the one that's only drawn up, but I'm actually going to draw up something else. Actually, we've got our little ink stream this weekend, folks. So if you're interested, you should join Wendy and myself. Hopefully I'll see if I can finish something. Oh, that would be a change, wouldn't it? That would be a change. I have to be very conscious to do that. Okay. Well, it looks like one of those trees you see in Dr. Seuss's books. I like those trees. Well, you know what? Anything I do here is not normal. Okay? Just know that. Not normal. Ish. Oh, hang on, I picked up the wrong one. Oh, yes. And this is like a raw umber tint. 230 is the Faber-Castell. When will you be streaming this weekend? Okay. It is Saturday morning my time, and I think Friday night your time. You can be having a glass of wine while this is all happening, Nanette. There you go. And I tell you what, and the reason why I work like this is probably quite a few things. One would be I'm not an accomplished artist. That's one. But two is that I find that once I block in and take things to, say, about 90%, I go away and I come back and then I start attacking it with detail. And so far that's worked for me. But I don't know how you guys work. Not sure. I'm not sure how you guys work. And I know every artist works differently. And I suppose it all boils down to experience. But like you guys, I'm learning the same with you. I'm learning right beside you. It's just that I'm doing it publicly. That's the thing. That's the thing. And this is a 173. It's more like an olive colour, which is what this is all about here. I call BS. You are an accomplished artist. Oh, okay. Thanks, Nanette. Thank you. Thank you. That's nice of you to say that. Oh, now you're making me blush. You're making me blush. Okay. All right. Renata says, my son brings me a pint of coffee. That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. That's nice. Hope he does some of your other housework too, Renata. Boys don't do that, but you've got to always remind them that they've got to do it, don't you? Let's have a look one more time. Let me see. Let's see if I can get it close to that, and that's what I'm looking at. There. Anyway. So, a lot to do. There's a lot to do. Well, next time I see you guys, I'm going to hopefully have done most of this. And hang on, let me get to this area. I'm going to see if I can get to this area and this area. Hopefully by the next time I see you guys, this should be mostly done. So what do you think about that? And what I think I might do, because I've been streaming for such a while now, Will says a lot of what is going to make that pop is getting the background closer to the black. Absolutely, 100% correct. Yes, and I thought to use. I'm going to see how I go with the black pan pastel, but I think I'm actually going to go with the soft pastels to get that. And you are absolutely 1000% correct. Don't forget to like. Oh, Chrissy. Oh, okay. But yeah, no. Look, I think I might call it a little session, and I mean little. I mean seriously. I can't believe that I only did that in 2 hours. Talk. I love it. You don't have much time though if you're streaming on a Friday. If you're streaming on Friday. Well, now I'll be streaming on Saturday, US time Friday night. I think that's what it is. I would have done it the last week in September, but called it a micro session. Oh, okay. Because my son is graduating from the army on the last weekend, so I'm going to attend. But normally it would be the last weekend of each month, but that's when we're doing that. But yeah, but look, I just wanted to say to everyone, look, thank you so much for popping by. I so appreciate your time. I love being in your company, and thank you all for coming. I just what time in England? I'm not quite sure, Jacqueline. If I put a time in Sydney, Australia time, when you go, if you're subscribed to me, then you click on a reminder, it will tell you what time it is your time. I think that's how it works. Thanks, Chrissy. It's always a lot of fun. Okay, well, look, thank you so much, everyone, for popping by. I just wanted to say good night, everyone, and hope to see you soon. Okay, bye for now.